Welcome, everybody. My name is Maria, and I welcome you to the April Ladies of the Kitchen 30-minute chat. And I am so excited and a warm welcome to have Kori Schapiro as our guest today. All of my guests, in some way, are foodie lovers, which is a connection. But this lady and I have like one step above that connection because we do a lot of similar food rituals, shall I say, and practices, which she may share about, who knows. But what I love about her is that she has really embraced everything in the healing arena. She is a holistic and wellness energy coach. She's a Reiki master. She's a certified rapid transformational coach. I mean, what does all that mean to some of you? Well, to me, it means that whenever she enters a room, even if you don't know her, she has a certain sparkle and energy, and you want to either get to know her or you want to get to work with her. And that to me is a really great quality. She loves nature. And right now, with the world the way it is, I know a lot of people are spending a lot of time in nature, grounding themselves. She loves forest trails, and all this love for nature kind of intertwines with her love of being in the kitchen. And her best friends are veggies, right, Kori? Tiny bundles of love, as she calls them. She lives not very far from my daughter in Florida,
Mhm.
and she has a wonderful family there with a furry puppy. So I could just go on. So I'm just going to say, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Maria. That was a wonderful welcome. I'm so happy to be here and I really appreciate and I'm honored to share this time with you.
Oh, well, thank you. So let's start. First of all, how the heck did you get into this whole wonderful arena? I'm sure you didn't wake up at age 6 or 7 and say, okay, I'm going to be a Reiki master. Kids don't even know that word, right? So
It's so true. So
how did you
true.
get
Yeah. And even by the time that I got to Reiki, that was so far down the line from where I started. So the very beginning came actually as a wake up call when my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer. Never even smoked a cigarette a day in her life, but that
wow.
was a very awakening time for me and deciding that it was time to start focusing on my own health journey. So when I started this journey, it started strictly with just thinking, you know what, I need to take control of what I'm eating and, feel better about the choices that I make and feel better about my body. So it started with um, really starting to get into exercise and then focusing on nutrition. And when I became certified as a holistic wellness coach, which I loved, it was an amazing catalyst. I knew there was more. So more came, and I felt like, pulling in the energy piece with the Reiki, that was a great next step, which I absolutely loved. But there was still something more. And once I got into my own emotional healing journey and moved just past the exercise and the nutrition and, really wanting to feel good in my body, there were still things going on in my life that I felt, you know what, there's this large emotional component that's missing, and I needed to figure out how to pull that together. And in came some of the circles that you and I have
Yeah.
connected through, which has been incredibly amazing. And then there was more. There's always more. There's always another layer. It
How
always
old
goes
were you
deeper.
how old were you when that started, when your mom was diagnosed?
I was 37.
And so
So,
prior to
so
that, what focus was your life and career like?
I was just in the thick of raising young kids. My son was 8, and then I had 2 toddlers.
Wow.
So I was um, I was working part time for my husband at the time. He had just recently opened his own law firm, and I was supporting him through the office management and a bunch of other
And that's
administrative
stressful.
tasks while
Yeah.
raising three kids. Two of them were under 5 at the time. So actually they were under 4 at the time. So it was really busy, and it was a lot for me to say, you know what? It's time that I need to look at me and work on what I need to do to keep my body healthy, to keep going with this
Yeah.
situation.
So I know a lot of people know about energy work. It's out
Yeah.
there now. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not known like it was when we were growing up or even in college. It was just
Right.
starting a little bit.
It's
So
not so weird anymore.
I know, and I think it's great because when you're in that mode, it just encompasses everything, right? Your body, your
Yeah.
mind, your spirit, everything. And when you feel good and when you behave with an attitude of feeling good, it's just going to energetically spread. So I know a lot of people still don't know the wonderful practice in art. Just maybe kind of give us a little bit of what the Reiki experience is like, because I've had it, but I'm not a master in it. And I love to have that healing regularly in my life, but just kind of give everyone how you got into it and a little bit on the work that you do.
Okay. Well, from the Reiki standpoint, it's really a matter of, as the person receiving, it's what are you willing to receive? It's being open to receiving that energy. It's being open to just letting yourself go, letting yourself just be, and to allow yourself to relax and give yourself that time where you are really truly just honoring that quiet time and allowing yourself to love on yourself, because you are giving yourself that time to just be and to receive the most beautiful energy that is possibly available to you, that's coming from the highest place, the highest of good and intentions. And all you have to do is lay there and be open to receiving love and receiving that energy into your chakra systems. And your body is made up of several systems that work together.
Mhm.
And the more that you are allowing yourself to relax, the more that beautiful energy comes to you and goes exactly where it needs to go to help that positive energy move through your body and cycle through you, and to release those blocks that are physical, that are emotional, that are mental. So the more you're able to relax and let that in, the more you are allowing for your body to heal, to rest, to rejuvenate, and to open yourself up to new possibilities.
Oh, I love that. Now, the people that are at home, I'm sure want to know, well, do you have like a wow kind of routine that you go through every day to stay so positive and to be able to be available for your clients and what you do with energy and coaching?
The first thing that I do that I think really sets the tone for the day is that when I wake up in the morning,
Mhm.
I spend that time in gratitude. Every morning that I wake up, first of all, I love my bedroom. I've created a space that feels very special to me and very unique to me and to my tastes. And every morning I wake up and I am grateful for the space that I have. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my environment. I'm grateful for the life that I have. And every day starts with feeling positive because I get to be where I am right now. And if I can wake up and have that attitude that I'm thankful and grateful, then that's what I can share with the world. And it's really hard to share that energy or want to be that vessel of energy if you don't have it yourself. So
So
that's number one.
So no one can be 100% that way, I don't think, because there's that human element in us. So
Yeah,
do you have a fear of anything right now with everything is there a fear that you kind of just have?
sure.
What would that
Absolutely. There's
be?
always fear. I no matter how positive I am on the whole, it doesn't mean that I don't have
Do
a
you have a
bad
big
day or a
one?
bad hour or bad month. I mean, I am human just like everybody else.
Do you have
So
a big
I
one right now in the back of your mind or that you're kind of
of
holding?
the fears.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I have three children who are now, in their early 20s and in their teens, and I have major concerns about their future.
A mommy
Um,
fear of
I
the
have I have a mommy fear. I have the fear about, as much as I can embrace how far we've come in technology, I do have fears that what happens for my kids, will they be able to find jobs? Will they be able to find their place in the world? Will they be able to support themselves? Or are we going to be living together forever?
And that's where the balance and what you do to just say for today, everything's
Right.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now I can still wake up every day and say, I still have blessings and my children still have blessings, and I want to see that continue.
So, is there something you're not good at?
Most things. I think in the big picture of the world, there's probably more things I'm not good at than I am. So, well, I've never performed heart surgery, so I probably wouldn't want to go out and try that today.
I love that answer. Is there,
But more realistically, I love plants, but some of my plants and I are still struggling to find that perfect relationship.
you
So,
know what? That is so funny you should say that because both my grandmothers who have passed, obviously, had great green thumbs. And was attracted to plants like you and herbs now for being in the kitchen, plant.
right, right.
But for some reason, me and I don't know, like they'll thrive and then they'll kind of, and then they'll thrive. And then I go, what, so it's just, I don't know. Some people just really are connected. And I think I'm more connected when I'm cooking with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Then we're
yeah.
buddies. But when we're growing up together, it's like we're both like, okay, we're growing up together.
I feel that. It's still a work in progress. I actually had somebody tell me, well, you should just quit trying to grow plants and just accept that that's not your thing. And I said, no, I don't accept that. Maybe I just haven't found the right plant.
Yeah, that I like that. I like that. There'll
But
be
my succulents are doing fantastically.
Yeah, mine do too. Succulents do great. Maybe because they don't need me to focus on them so much.
Exactly. They take care of themselves.
Yeah. Well, what is it that you feel as a mom, a wife, a career woman, uh, uh, a coach, all those little wonderful hats that you wear? What is it that you're really, truly proud of that you've done? Which one or what hat made you just feel like, wow, I did this?
Okay. So I will say at this moment,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily professionally, but it's been personally. And that has been in the last few years really coming into my own as my own person, as my whole individual self in making the choices that I get to make every day that are fully my choices to make. And
Are
therefore, the
you
outcome is mine.
are you kind of sharing with us more like a personal confidence level of really knowing your desires and your wishes?
Yeah. Yes, yes. Or, even making decisions about what I feel is best for my family,
Oh,
or um, even just cooking in the kitchen.
yes.
What brought us here about, the accomplishments where I can say, I did this and I'm proud of the outcome.
That's
Um,
awesome. So speaking of being in the kitchen, what's one of your favorite times? Is there a dish, a dessert, or just being there or working with herbs or spices? What lights you up in the kitchen?
there's a few different things. I don't
Okay.
bake very often, but my youngest daughter is obsessed with creme brulee.
Oh, that's
And
not easy.
she asked me one time to make creme brulee, and I had never made it before. And I said, okay, what's the worst that could happen? So I made creme brulee, and she said, at the end, it's
Uh-huh.
my second favorite creme brulee that she's ever had.
What?
And her first favorite is from Epcot at Disney
Oh,
in the country France. So
yeah.
she said that mine was second to that one. So that was a huge compliment.
That is it. And not, for those that have never made it, it's not an easy thing to make.
And
So whip
that was
it
the
up.
one and only time I've made it so far.
Oh,
Um,
I'm so proud of you too. Oh, that's
Thank you.
amazing.
So I would say the other thing that is a fan favorite when I serve it are my roasted potatoes.
Do you use the little baby ones or do you use a big one and slice it up
I
or
use I use the red potatoes usually, and I depending on how big the potatoes are, at minimum I quarter them, sometimes even a little bit smaller, and then I roast them with
yeah.
avocado oil and the special
A lot of
seasoning.
great nutrients in a good potato. And for those that you are listening, hey, red potatoes are the better ones. The Yukon red potatoes are fantastic.
So,
So since we're talking about people
and
looking,
brisket.
oh
Brisket
yeah,
is my my goal to have the perfect brisket. So
there's
I'm
a lot
getting closer.
that have that goal in the Midwest too.
Yes.
They
Well,
have
I am from
cooking
the Midwest.
competitions on that one.
I am from the Midwest and grew up, in a Jewish family. So as a
Yep,
good Jewish mom, you got to have a good
gotta
brisket.
have, yeah. So it sounds like your daughter looks up to you. Who do you look up to that has been dead or alive? Anyone in particular that you look up to?
There's a few. There's a few. The short answer, the alive ones, I will say my best friend and my boyfriend, because the two of them just have the most amazing hearts. I mean, like, biggest hearts I could ever ask for, and couldn't be more blessed to have both of them in my life. And I would say my mom, looking back at all of the family and all of the various things that came her way, she just took everything on and dealt with everything like it looked easy.
You know,
And
this is what I think, if you're listening, this is how energy connects you. Without even knowing each other's total background, you answered this question just the way I would have. First of all,
really,
my boyfriend, my partner, I feel is like my angel that I admire. Just so kind, so full of wisdom, calm. I'm like this. And my mom, I have now grown to appreciate her. She had breast cancer. So your mom
oh,
had lung, my mom had breast, and she's still here. And
thankfully, yeah.
now, yeah, and now as the years go by, even though, they get set in their ways and,
Mhm.
we're looking at life differently, I just think she raised 6 kids. I mean, I had two and I barely like, how did they turn out so great? With just two.
Right.
Just like
Well,
we
it,
we learn to appreciate things as we grow older. And
yeah.
truly, I love that we're both connected with the same that way. It just feels really good. Um,
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that.
so if you had more time or more money and had to choose between the two, what would it be?
I love that question very much. Um, honestly, I would choose more money because if I wanted more time, I would be able to spend my money to buy that time.
Yep. Okay. Um, have you felt recently or currently or looking back that you've had an aha moment already in your life, like aha, or do you feel it's coming?
I feel both, actually. If I can say that, I feel both. Um,
Okay.
there's the major aha moment, kind of like I said, where, I've gotten to this point in my life where my decisions are mine, and I'm really excited about that and proud of that. But taking that to the next level, it's that recognition, that aha, that I am whole. And there's a peacefulness and a calm in that recognition where one day I woke up and said, I am whole. Like I am not looking for others to validate me. I'm not looking for, my other half, because there is no other half. I am my other half.
You know,
So,
what's interesting about our age group is I see like this split, like either people are starting, especially women, starting to go, well, I'm just going to age gracefully. I'm not going to worry about, my weight or my gray hair or the wrinkles. Then there's
mhm,
that other half that's like constantly, going to get the Botox or the facelift or
mhm.
whatever they're doing to their body. And it's interesting how our mind takes us there. I don't know about you, but there's moments when I'll wake up and I'm just like, oh, you're pretty hot for your age. And then there'll be other days when I go, oh, you definitely need to lose 5 pounds, that kind of thing. And I'm not sure if I'm alone in that realm or if it's just that there's still that humanist ego that comes out. What would you say that is with your experience in dealing with your clients? Do you kind of see that and feel it?
I say no matter how much we are spiritual beings, we're still in this human body and surrounded by this earthly environment. And so there's still human earthly influences because that's just the reality.
Hmm.
But as much as we can love ourselves for who we are, I mean, that doesn't mean that there isn't some day where we say, you know, maybe this could be a little bit better. And not because you're trying to impress somebody else or that it's for somebody else. It's just because it's for me and I care about me. And this is what I might want for myself. So, if we maybe aren't so happy with the 5 pounds, it doesn't mean, we dislike ourselves or that, it's not acceptable. It just means, well, if I could do a little better, why why shouldn't
Not
I or why
try.
couldn't
Why
I?
couldn't I? Yeah. So, have you done something fun and different and crazy that you'd like to share with us that maybe other people haven't explored or done?
Well, I don't think that I'm so unique that I've ever done anything nobody else has, but on a funny note in that realm, I married my ex-husband 3 times.
That,
That's kind of unusual.
yes, it is. And are you guys friends today or?
We get along very well. We co-parent very well together, and we live about 8 miles down the road from each other, and we are still part of each other's lives.
I think that that would make a good Netflix documentary, that story. We don't have time to get into that one, guys, but I don't think too many of us can say that. I love that. A book that you've written that, or not that you've written, I'm sorry, that you read. Maybe
Yes.
you'll be writing that book, but that
Maybe.
that you've read that truly just made you feel good or that you learned truly something from.
Yes. there's so many, but the one that I will choose is Untamed by Glennon Doyle.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
I've heard of it. I have not read
Okay.
it, but I have heard of it and I've read the reviews. Tell us a little
Okay.
bit about it and why you love that book.
So from the minute that I opened that book, I was like, I feel this. I am connected to this woman. And what I loved about it is her story. And of course, she's close to our age, a few years younger than me, I believe. So it's really just such a similar journey. And honestly, it's a journey that is so common at this point of for women at this place in our lives that we're really just figuring out who we are beyond just somebody's wife and somebody's mother and working for somebody or in our professions. It's really that coming of age of who we are as an individual person and as a woman and accepting our path and accepting our journey and following our instinct and our intuition to say, I'm going to go the direction that my heart and my soul is telling me to go, not what everybody else is expecting of me, because this is how it's always been. And really just taking charge of your own destination and saying, I'm choosing what's right for me. And this is the path that I follow because I know this is what I need to do.
Okay, so you just led me into a great next question. I love the number
Okay.
three, and you were talking about choice and, that we're discovering things. So
Yeah.
we're going to take the three, the mind, the body, and spirit. In the
Okay.
mind, if you were to give a woman that was sitting with you and you're having conversation, one little piece of advice about mindset, what would that be?
I'm going to say go back to that gratitude practice
Okay, great. Every day. All right.
every day, every
Now
day,
let's
because
go. Okay, go
every
ahead.
day that you can find that gratitude of what you have to be thankful for, you can find that next level of energy of what do I do with that and how do I take it forward?
Okay. Fantastic. What about food? What would you say? Oh my gosh, when it comes to food and your body.
Food is love and food is medicine.
Great. And I
Choose
totally,
properly and carefully and wisely.
exactly. And make a friend with food. Make a friend with people. I mean, people
Yeah.
get like, oh, I haven't seen that. What is that? Well, it tastes good. Make a friend with it. Explore.
Find your
Just,
adventure.
yeah. Okay. And the third thing, your soul, your
Your
spirit.
soul.
What would you say?
Yeah. We all have a spiritual superhero. And what I love to do is to help others find what that spiritual superhero looks like within themselves.
Oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. Okay, so before we conclude, I would love to hear what your first job was and if it helped you, and what you see yourself doing. Because I don't like the word job, so to speak. I like the word, what am I doing to be of service? What's your next level of service? And what was your first level of service as a job?
Okay. My first level of service when I was in high school, I worked at a neighborhood pharmacy and it was family owned. And the fun thing about this pharmacy is that it went way back to the roots of pharmacies and they had a soda fountain.
Oh my God.
So So when I first started at that job, my job was to work at the soda fountain. So I got to serve up ice cream and make literally like homemade milkshakes from scratch, not like whatever syrup they
Yeah.
put in it. I mean, like
The
literally take the
real,
ice
yeah.
cream with the milk and the mixer and do all the add-ins. So that was my first job.
And what
And
did
then
you absolutely love about it? The
it
people, the making it, everything?
Well, it was always busy. I mean, it was such a hot spot. So all the kids that you went to school with would come in after school, and because it was the neighborhood pharmacy, it was like, so many people from the community would come in and, pick up their medicines and say, "Oh, look, a soda fountain. I'm just gonna sit." So you just got to socialize and be creative
Meet other people. Well,
and
we're
meet
moving
other
a
people.
lot.
And I
Yeah.
am a people person and a connector. So that was such a great start to really getting out into the world and starting with
Yeah.
making those connections. So, yes, how has that helped me? It really was the foundation of me getting
Serving.
of serving, yeah,
Yeah.
and
You did all
and
your roles in
communicating
life.
and
Yeah.
listening. And
Okay. So now what's your next level?
so my next level is to continue in that service because that's something that I've just discovered that is so essential to who I am. I am a connector and I'm passionate about helping people to find their own passion within themselves and to help them find their own level of health and wellness and discovering their own wholeness.
And now you can serve them up a healthy milkshake.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay.
just had that conversation this morning about healthy milkshakes. So,
Oh, I love it. Okay, so now let's have everyone finish up. First, let everyone know where they can find you if they want to get to know you better, if they want to work with you, find out more about Reiki, or possibly what Certified Rapid Transformation is all about.
yes, yes. Okay, so being in this beautiful stage of transformation and transition, I think that the best way for people to reach me is if they want to reach out to you and you can send them my way
Okay,
because we'll
fantastic.
say website is under construction.
Yay. All right, everyone. I'll put that in the notes below. We'll have this on YouTube soon, so then you can share it all over. So before we close, I would like you to share how you just view yourself in the world and how you receive people coming into the world. How do you view?
First,
Do you see
I'm
yourself as a butterfly, as a ray of sunshine, a bird?
oh, okay. Well, I like that question. My daughter describes me as a light fairy. So that was really a nice compliment.
Yes,
So
it is.
her description of a light fairy is being very bright and optimistic, and people are drawn to you and sparkly. So I do like her description of that. I feel very honored that she thinks that of me. I'm also a bit of a tree fairy. So we'll take that light fairy down a notch and combine me with a light fairy who's hovering over the trees,
I
who's
love that.
back to earth and into nature. So
Well, it's
so
quite obvious from our discussion, everyone, that she definitely is a true tree hugger. I want to hug her. She hugs trees and passes it on, and you can't get more
I
grounded
hug
than
people
a
too.
tree. So, thank you so much for being here. And I wish you the best of the best. And I'm so excited for all the people that have had the honor to work with you and will be working with you, because I don't care how small we think our world is, if we're doing a positive, great way of just using our talents, we're doing the right thing. And the more people do that, the more it spreads, right?
Yes. Thank you, Maria.
Okay,
Love
thanks
spending this time
you.
with you.
Love spending it with you. Bye, everyone.